Plastic pollution continues to strangle our marine environment. In fact, get this, it takes 450 years for it to biodegrade, and less than 9% is ever recycled.
So why are state lawmakers trying to pass legislation to ban local governments from further regulating plastic? If this bill passes, it could erase years of progress. Here's tonight's Don't Trash Our Treasure.
In Miami, a dolphin swims in a dirty Biscayne Bay littered with plastic pollution.
Very sad. Look at all this trash.
While in a canal in Pompano Beach, a manatee struggles to eat, surrounded by plastic debris. This has a battle bruise in Tallahassee.
That is a huge flaw in this bill I haven't heard anyone realize. You are going to jeopardize the most important resources we have.
Impassioned public testimony heard at a recent House committee meeting over Florida House Bill 1641. The proposed legislation aims to strip away local government's authority to regulate single-use containers, plastic bags, cups, bottles, and other disposable packaging commonly found smothering our shorelines, waterways, and storm drains.
How can you say there's no impact to local governments when in fact they're continuing to clean out stormwater drains?
Most activity is going to go on anyhow, regardless of what happens here.
State Rep Brad Yeager from Newport Richey is the bill's sponsor. There's a similar one in the Senate, preempting all regulation of plastics to the state, which up to now has done absolutely nothing to do so, alleging bans on single-use containers are too heavy a tax on small businesses.
With that said, I do think we need to protect small business, and this does that.
But at what cost? Data from a 2021 FDEP report shows some 7,000 tons of plastic entered Florida's marine environment in 2020 alone.
Plastic garbage.
And local cleanup organizations warn the tsunami of plastic trash shows no signs of slowing down.
This is not a solution. What we do here every single weekend, picking up trash from our shorelines and beaches, we are done. We need change starting from the top.
Make no mistake, this is a harmful bill. It's going to lead to more trash and more plastic pollution into our waterways and our oceans.
Oceana is one of several conservation organizations fighting the bill. Not only would it block any future local laws from regulating plastic, it also voids existing ordinances already on the books.
If this bill passes, it really slams that toolbox shut and puts a lock on it. It really takes us out of the picture of being a part of the solution.
That would mean Miami Beach's 2015 styrofoam ban would be rescinded, with potentially devastating consequences.
So styrofoam was the #1 product that we were finding on our beach cleanups and on our waterway cleanups. And the problem with foam is that it is very brittle and it breaks apart very easy into tiny, teeny little pieces. When this gets on our streets, it goes through the storm drain systems and the pollution controls are unable to stop it.
Stats show 8 million pieces of plastic enter the ocean every day. No wonder 93% of all Floridians surveyed in the FDEP report believe regulation of single-use plastics is needed. Still, powerful lobbying groups pushing for the bill say local governments should stay out of it.
But we shouldn't be dictating and saying, hey, you can't do it in this area, because it's going to make it almost impossible for businesses to be able to compete long term, and it's also going to drive up costs for consumers.
So the argument you're making is that this is good for business.
It's good for business, it's good for the consumers overall.
But it's not good for the environment.
Well, look, what's good for the environment is if people really care about this issue, they can bring their reusable bag to the store.
But environmental advocates argue putting that burden on consumers is no solution.
That trash is affecting our communities. We need to be able to control it. This bill says the answer is do nothing.
Look at all this trash.
That cannot be the answer for Florida.
And tonight we have an update right before the Senate bill was supposed to be heard by the Community Affairs Committee. The bill was pulled from the agenda and has been temporarily postponed. We reached out to the bill's two sponsors, Senator Jonathan Martin and Representative Brad Yeager, for clarification on what the status is on both these bills. We've yet to hear back. Environmentalists are cautiously optimistic, but now warn that those bills will most probably be back. If you want your voice heard on this issue, it's so important you contact your state rep and your state senator to find out more about this legislation and who's supporting it. Scan that QR code. It'll take you straight to the Don't Trash Our Treasure page on Local 10. tallahassee.com. So we'll see what happens.
All right, so for clarification, we're saying right now, not dead.
Temporarily postponed.
Okay.
And so we're waiting to see how that affects the House bill. But again, this is Tallahassee. They could tack this on to another bill. Right now, until it passes that committee, it can't advance. So that's the good news. And again, it doesn't prevent it from coming back next legislative session.
So got to keep eyes on this one.
Yeah.